What is happening, y'all? Thank y'all again for joining the channel. Please consider subscribing or giving us a thumbs up if you like what you see today. Today I want to talk about my minimalist 4Runner camping setup. This is, if you're going camping solo and doing the whole car camping thing, I like to carry the least gear possible and just keep, gear out of the truck that I don't need. So just keeping my gear down to a minimum, doing a minimalist setup. I've seen a lot of different videos with people building platforms, things like that. What I'm going to show you today is just using a couple of items that I have, a couple pieces of gear that you can just easily, mitigate some of the issues with the 4Runner when it comes to space back here. But yeah, let's just go ahead and get into it. So first thing that I do, obviously if you've seen my 4Runner lifestyle back seat cover videos, you know what these are, but if you're unfamiliar with them, check out that video. But these are great. They provide you a sturdy platform and a water resistant platform as well. But what I like to do, and I'll try to do this one hand, is I just get like a old blanket or throw, and I'm gonna try to do this with one hand and to just kind of spread it out. And then this just helps with the leaves and the dirt and stuff that you might get in the vehicle when camping, and it's just easier to keep your interior clean. One thing I love about the 4Runner is, I'm about 5'11", and I can fit in, I can stand up in here even on the higher part of the platform or the higher part of the seats here. I can sit up, which makes camping so much better in this vehicle over other vehicles. But yeah, I just, spread this out, throw it on here. Nothing, nothing magical. But what this does, like I mentioned, this is beeping, stop it. This does, again, by throwing a blanket here, if you get dirt or leaves, you can just pull this out and then clean it off. All right, so next thing I do is I get a couple of little sleeping pads here, and I get 2 of these Nemo switchbacks. I'm not sponsored by any of this stuff or any of these brands. This is just what I have lying around in terms of camping gear. But what I'll do is, and I'm gonna pull this blanket off so you guys can see how this helps. So again, blanket part is optional. I recommend it because it keeps leaves and dirt off. But again, coming back to this, you're gonna have this tiny hump here. It's actually because the platform here doesn't lay flat. It looks super flat, but it does have this rise here, and I measured it's about a 2-inch rise. So, like I mentioned, people build platforms out of wood, plywood, and get really intricate with it. I'm all about minimalism and then just, bare minimum and using things that you have at home. So what I do with these pads is I use 2 of these Nemo switchback pads, and it could be any sleeping pads that you find. I fold them in half. This is more difficult than I anticipated, doing it one-handed. Okay, so we got this one. We got this one. Okay. Now I put them together like this, and you can scrunch them up, but I put them as close as I can to this platform because that's going to, again, help reduce this distance here that this bump gives us. You can even put it up a little bit more if you want, and then you can spread them out a little bit or just leave them close. It doesn't matter, and I'll show you why. So that's the first piece that we do to kind of create our riser or platform here. Then the next thing I do is I have this Thermarest pad. And this is an awesome pad. It's great for just camping. It's also really durable. I've had this for 4 years now. I haven't had a puncture or anything. I've done tons of just regular tent camping, and now, doing this setup, obviously there's no issues. But this will go in. It's a little bit long because this is the larger version. So this is about 6 feet, a little bit over. It's the Thermarest Pro Light Apex. Again, I'm not sponsored by any of this. This is just the gear that I've bought and have kind of vetted over the years, and this is a really good solution, good product. But as you see, it will extend a little bit, and I'll show you guys how to get rid of that. And then I just lay my sleeping bag over it. This is also a Nemo This is a 0-degree bag, but you can use any bag, especially when tent camping. But I'll try to get this out one-handed too. All right, so then we got our bag. Just gonna put it on top real quick. Stretch it out. Boom. So your sleeping setup's done. Now, why this is super nice, and I'll get in here, is now with those pads in, you don't feel the hump. And obviously, I have some pillows here as well, but you don't feel the hump. You're really nice and snug, secure. You don't feel it on your back. Those pads also provide padding underneath, so you're not going to feel the floor. So the combination of the pads and then the sleeping pad is really awesome. And then you still have tons of room for extra gear, which we'll put in the truck here next. But awesome thing about the 4Runners too is they have these little shelves, because you can get these with the 3rd row, and so they give you these areas to put stuff on. They serve as really nice like nightstands. You can put your keys over there, your wallet, whatever it may be. So really nice. You can put water bottles or cups. And then here I just have some storage. So that is a air compressor, and then I have some air down tools here. But anyway, this setup then allows for extra gear to just come next to you. So, and I'm using, guys, what I typically take with me on a trip. Oh, let me grab the cooler. So this is the cooler that I use on my solo trips, and we're gonna bring it in. But it's a Yeti, little soft-sided cooler. These are really nicely insulated. I usually put ice packs in here, and that will last. And when I do like a minimalist trip for a couple of days, I try to take things that aren't going to spoil. So really it's just like granola, oatmeal, eggs, oat milk, oatmeal, things like that, fruit. And then if I'm going to take some meat out, like a steak or sandwich stuff, the ice packs usually last, but I'll throw in a little bit of ice in there as well. And then this can go in here, and we can organize that as we see fit. But let's go ahead and see what else this setup entails. So in here, I typically carry like a cutting board. This has all my cutlery and cooking stuff. I have some propane tanks down at the bottom for my camp stove. And then this, we can just carry back to our setup. And they can go here. Got plenty of room for that. Got your cooler. Perfect fit there. And then what I carry with me gear-wise is this Fjallraven or Fjallraven, however you want to pronounce it. It's the Fjallraven Steuben. I don't know if they've discontinued this, but this is a bird watching / hunting backpack. And I just use it for even like week-long trips. So much stuff fits in here. But what's cool about this is it also doubles as a chair, because it has a frame inside. So you can use it kind of as a stool. I think Steuben stands for stump or something like that in Swedish. But anyway, so I usually put all my clothes and stuff in here, and typically goes on the side. I'll put it here, and you can configure it any way you want, but you can put it standing up here. And then I'm going hiking and stuff. This comes with me. You can put that there. One thing also you can do, and this is again just depending on what your setup is, but you're carrying lots of water, so these are 7-gallon aquatainers. You can just swap out the cooler or put the cooler on top. And you got yourself some nice water here. Usually tie it down with a bungee here, so it's not rattling around the cab. Put your cooler up there, and bam, you got your setup. So here, as you see, you have your sleeping pad. Again, I'm almost 6 foot. I'm 5'11", 160 pounds. and you just have tons of storage options. You can configure this any way you want. So, you know, you can even put that tote and that backpack up in the front. So you have the whole front, you have that whole space down there, whole space here. If you're with 2 people, it might be a little bit more difficult, but just showing you what you can do. And this is my minimalist setup. Again, you got an aquatainer, I got all my cookware, stove, things like that in here. Got my cooler, nice and small and compact. A lot fits in here. You'd actually be surprised how much fits in these little Yeti coolers. My 2 bags, and then I haven't used anything up in the front. This is 7 gallons of water, and I'll show you guys how I get in and out of this thing. So let's close it up. So you're at camp, you're ready to go to bed, you're long day. Oh, obviously, guys, too, if you have a roof rack, which I have not gotten one yet, and if you guys have a suggestion, I'm debating whether to get a Prinsu or I believe it's Sherpa, the Creststone, or maybe the 4Runner Slimline. But I'm kind of pushing towards the Prinsu just because I have experience with CBI and it's cheaper. But anyway, you guys comment down if you have any of those racks and if you like them. But anyway, so yeah, long day, you know, you're ready to go to bed, ready to go camp. I get in. We got our pull strap, and I'll show you guys here what I was talking about. This pad does push up, just push it up and then fold it back down. And then now, again, 5'11". I can't quite extend all the way unless I have my pillows, because my head right now is resting on here. But again, I'm 5'11". I fit in here almost perfectly. Some nights I'll have to angle a little bit. So like if I angle here, I'm completely down. But again, most of the time I'm, you know, just doing one of these, right? Got plenty of room here. I still have plenty of room with my bags here. So like I have all this space here where I could put like my toiletry bag or anything I need to get to. I mentioned these shelves here. Again, this is just part of the 4Runner, but you can put your, you know, coffee mug in the morning, you can put your water bottles, whatever here. And then you still have plenty of room inside, guys. And you're not obstructing any of the light. You can sit up, get dressed. It's a really nice solution. Again, for minimalist camping, you guys saw it in real time how long it takes to set it up. And then, you know, you just kind of leave it up. And if you have a roof rack, obviously that's going to give you more storage space. And then this is how I get out, and it's really simple. So just move my legs and I'm out of the vehicle. Really easy, really minimalist solo camping setup. Again, you could probably do it with 2 people, depending on how you configure your own setup. But yeah, guys, just wanted to share that with y'all in case y'all are intimidated by the prospect of car camping for the first time and don't think you have the right gear or think you have to build a silly platform. Again, just a couple of sleeping pads. You can mitigate that rise in the hump there. And you know, this thing has room for days. You can fit tons of gear in, sleep comfortably, sit up, get dressed in the morning, and then you have these awesome little built-in shelves, which are great. You know, 4Runner I think is the best car camping vehicle. When I had trucks, so I've had trucks in the past historically with beds, and you know, the problem with beds and camping in beds is that the wind is going to cut underneath. If you have a steel bed or aluminum bed, even the composite beds from Toyota, you have cold wind circulating underneath. And so even camping on the back, if you have a topper or something like that, it is not as comfortable. This is really comfortable. You know, if you get cold at night, just throw on the heater for a couple of minutes. It gets really toasty really fast, and it seals in the heat really well. And you can just crack, you can crack this window, which is awesome. So I'll turn the camera around. But you can crack this window a little bit, and even when it's raining, because of this spoiler, it acts as an awning, and the water doesn't get inside. So awesome, an awesome feature of the 4Runner for car camping. So there you have it, guys. That is my minimalist setup for car camping in the Toyota 4Runner. Again, I think it is the best platform for car camping / truck camping. If you have any suggestions or questions, please post them in the comments below. And as usual, we'll see you on the next one.